Have you ever wondered what the single most important discovery in human history was? Some people might say the wheel, others might say agriculture, some might even say electricity. But long before any of those inventions existed, there was one discovery that completely changed the course of human evolution: fire. It's so common in our lives today that we barely think about it. We turn on a stove with the push of a button. We light candles during celebrations. We gather around campfires on vacations. But imagine seeing fire for the very first time, not knowing what it was, not understanding where it came from, not realizing that this glowing, dangerous force would eventually help humans build cities, create technology, and even travel to space. The story of how humans discovered fire is one of the greatest mysteries in human history. And today, you'll learn something fascinating. Not just how our ancestors learned to use fire, but how that discovery transformed us from vulnerable creatures struggling to survive into the dominant species on Earth. Let's go back millions of years to a world without fire. Imagine waking up 2 million years ago. You're not living in a house. There are no roads, no cities, no lights, no supermarkets, no hospitals, no phones. Nothing that resembles the modern world. You're an early human ancestor living somewhere in Africa. Every day is a fight for survival. Finding food is difficult. Predators are everywhere. And when the sun goes down, everything changes. Night becomes terrifying. Humans aren't naturally equipped for darkness. Unlike owls, cats, or many nocturnal animals, we can't see well at night. Our ancestors would have been almost helpless after sunset. Lions hunted in the darkness. Hyenas searched for prey. Leopards moved silently through the shadows. For early humans, nighttime wasn't simply inconvenient, it was dangerous. The safest thing to do was stay close together and wait for sunrise. Now imagine living your entire life this way. No warmth during cold nights. No way to cook food. No protection from many predators. No light after sunset. That was the reality for our ancestors before fire entered their lives. And then nature introduced them to something extraordinary. The first humans didn't invent fire. Nature did. Long before humans existed, fire was already a part of Earth's ecosystems. Lightning strikes would ignite dry grass. Volcanoes would release molten lava. Wildfires would spread across forests and grasslands. To animals, these events were disasters, and early humans probably reacted the same way. Imagine standing on a distant hill during a thunderstorm. Suddenly, lightning strikes a tree. A bright flash lights up the sky. Moments later, flames begin climbing the trunk. The fire spreads. Smoke rises into the air. Animals run in every direction. Everything in its path is consumed. At first, our ancestors probably feared fire, and honestly, who wouldn't? It was hot, unpredictable, powerful, deadly. But humans have always possessed one unique trait: curiosity. While other animals ran away and never looked back, humans observed. They watched. They learned. And eventually, they noticed something remarkable. After the fire was gone, the landscape had changed. Some plants grew back healthier. Certain animals had died and their meat smelled different. The burned remains were softer, easier to eat. Something interesting was happening. The fire wasn't only destroying things, it was transforming them. And that observation may have been the beginning of one of the most important relationships in human history. Let's imagine a scene. A wildfire has recently swept through an area. The flames are gone. Smoke still lingers. A group of early humans cautiously enters the burned landscape. They discover the remains of animals that didn't escape the fire. One curious individual tears off a piece of meat and tastes it. What happens next might have changed human history forever. The meat tastes different. It's softer. Chewing requires less effort. Digestion becomes easier. The food provides more energy. Of course, they didn't understand biology or chemistry, but they understood results. Cooked food was better. Today, scientists know that cooking breaks down tough fibers and proteins. It allows our bodies to absorb more calories while spending less energy digesting food. This seems simple now, but for early humans, it was revolutionary. Because in a world where survival depended on every calorie, Getting more energy from food could mean the difference between life and death. And once humans experienced that advantage, there was no going back. The challenge now was obvious. How could they keep access to fire? Here's something many people don't realize. Humans probably didn't learn to create fire immediately. In fact, for hundreds of thousands of years, they may have depended entirely on natural fires. Think about that for a moment. Imagine having electricity but no way to generate it. You can only use it when lightning creates it. That's similar to how early humans may have viewed fire. When a wildfire occurred, they didn't create it, they collected it. Researchers believe our ancestors may have carried burning branches back to their camps. They may have transported glowing embers over long distances, and then they faced a critical challenge: keeping the fire alive. Imagine a small group gathered around a flame. Everyone understands its importance. The fire provides warmth, it scares away predators, it helps cook food. Losing it would be a disaster. Someone would always need to watch it, feed it with wood, protect it from rain, keep it burning through the night. Some anthropologists even suggest that early human groups may have assigned specific individuals to care for the fire. In a way, humanity's first full-time job may have been firekeeper. For generations, humans may have preserved fire without fully understanding how to create it. But eventually, something changed. They stopped merely protecting fire. They began controlling it. How do scientists know any of this happened? After all, we're talking about events that occurred hundreds of thousands, even millions of years ago. The answer lies underground. Archaeologists search for clues left behind by ancient humans. One of the most important discoveries comes from Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa. Inside the cave, researchers found evidence of burned bones, charcoal fragments, and ash deposits dating back roughly 1 million years. What's fascinating is where these materials were found: deep inside the cave, far from the entrance. Natural wildfires couldn't easily reach those locations. This suggests something incredible. Humans brought fire into the cave. They weren't simply observing natural fires anymore, they were controlling them, creating hearths, maintaining flames, using fire intentionally. And Wonderwerk Cave isn't the only example. Evidence from other archaeological sites around the world tells a similar story. By this point, fire had become part of daily life, and that changed everything. Many scientists believe that fire didn't just help humans survive, it actually changed what humans became. Let's think about the human brain. Your brain represents only a small percentage of your body weight, yet it consumes an enormous amount of energy. Keeping a large brain running is expensive. So, where did that extra energy come from? One theory points directly to cooking. Cooked food provides more usable calories. That extra energy may have helped support the growth of larger brains over evolutionary time. But the benefits didn't stop there. Fire provided warmth during cold seasons. It allowed humans to move into regions that would otherwise be too harsh to survive. It offered protection against predators. Many animals naturally avoid flames, and perhaps most importantly, fire extended the day. Before fire, sunset ended most activities. After fire, humans could remain active for hours. They could sit together, talk, share experiences, teach skills, tell stories. Imagine a child sitting beside a fire 500,000 years ago, listening to elders explain where to find food or how to avoid danger. Those moments may have played a crucial role in the development of language, culture, and social learning. The campfire became humanity's first classroom. Eventually, humans achieved an even greater breakthrough. They learned how to make fire themselves, no lightning required, no wildfires necessary. Just human knowledge. Scientists aren't exactly sure when this happened, but at some point our ancestors discovered that friction could generate heat. By rapidly rubbing sticks together, they could create an ember. Others learned that striking certain stones could produce sparks. This was a turning point unlike anything before it. For the first time, humans could create fire whenever they needed it. Imagine the confidence that would have given them. Cold weather approaching? Make a fire. Need to cook food? Make a fire. Predators nearby? Make a fire. Humanity was no longer dependent on nature's timetable. They had learned how to harness one of its most powerful forces, and from that moment onward, human history accelerated. It's easy to take fire for granted. After all, it's everywhere. But if you trace human history backward, you'll discover that nearly every major advancement connects to fire in some way. Cooking, metalworking, pottery, industry, electricity generation. Even the rockets that carry humans into space rely on controlled combustion. All of it began with a simple observation made by our distant ancestors. A flash of lightning, a burning tree, a wildfire across the landscape. What began as fear became understanding. What seemed like destruction became opportunity. And what started as a natural force became humanity's greatest tool. The discovery of fire wasn't just a technological breakthrough. It was the moment humans began changing the world instead of simply living in it. And millions of years later, every flame we light is a reminder of that extraordinary journey. The journey that started with a spark